Welcome back to the second stint of Inside Grand Prix. We now dip further into the financial world of Formula One and explain how the remaining 295 million gets distributed as bonus payments. Mercedes and Red Bull get a Constructors' Championship bonus of $74 million. McLaren gets 32 million in this way and Ferrari 35. As the longest-standing team, Ferrari additionally gets another 70 million, making their total bonus a huge $105 million. Bringing up the rear in terms of bonuses is Williams. They get a heritage bonus of just $10 million. The $965 million for the teams is thus being distributed this year as follows. First, 35.5 million for each team except Haas. Then, a distribution based on positions in last year's World Constructors' Championship. Finally, the bonus payments. Ferrari thus bank a total of 192 million, making them the top earners, closely followed by Mercedes with 171. The influence of the bonus payments is clear. Although Sauber finished 2015 ahead of McLaren, the Swiss team gets 28 million less than their foundering rival. Williams, too, the third-place team, get 57 million less than fourth-placed Red Bull. Force India and Sauber feel that they're greatly disadvantaged, precisely due to the bonus payments. Motorsport's expensive and requires a lot of money, especially in Formula One, but even GP2 as well. Obviously, without the necessary cash and sponsors, things ultimately get difficult. Reason enough for the two teams to file a suit with the EU Competition Commission in 2015. If Brussels decides that the bonus payments represent a distortion of competition, the existing contracts through until 2020 will become invalid. However, even without an EU decision, things could soon change. According to media reports, Bernie Ecclestone is set to scrap the special payments and wants to ensure a fairer distribution of money. The beneficiaries are bound to resist. Nevertheless, Big Bernie could succeed in convincing the major teams of new plans for the benefit of Formula One of the world's greatest sports events with one of the cleverest business models. Now, a major burden for man and machine, the heat. A brutal 35 degrees, 90% air humidity. Hardly any cooling from the airstream. Fireproof underwear, 4 liters of liquid lost during the race. Drink, drink, drink. 90 minutes cooped up in carbon, like a caterpillar in a cocoon. Ahead of the Grand Prix, the always identical facts in superlatives. For 16 years, the drivers here have been performing the almost unimaginable.
Das beste Beispiel ist, man geht in
You go into a mild sauna, set it to 60 degrees or so, take your rowing machine or exercise bike with you and off you go. Within 10 minutes, you soon know what it feels like.
Da weiß man schon, wie sich das anfühlt.
And for one participant, it's going to get even hotter than usual. Much hotter, up to the limit, and perhaps even beyond it as well. The engine, or to put it better, the power unit. That includes the turbocharger, exhaust turbine and batteries. High-performance batteries, that is, permanently charging and discharging, which creates tremendous temperatures. Every innovation in F1 thus makes further measures necessary, and things get even more complex in extreme heat. Every bell and whistle on the car needs to be separately cooled. Intercooler, supercharged air, engine, batteries. Every battery package needs new cooling. We've never had so many coolers in Formula One. More cooling means a greater airstream, which has to flow through larger openings and radiators. On the flat-out sections of Sepang, a manageable task. More a problem for the aerodynamic engineers, for whom openings and large parts are inherently a thorn in their side. But what if the safety car in Sepang again has to slow the field down? Or if a rival refuses to be passed? In the slipstream, you soon lose proper cooling. Or indeed, if there's no airflow at all.
One of the concerns you've got is a long spell on the grid, for example, at the start of a race where you've got no cooling air going through any of the systems, the charge coolers aren't cooling.
Heat is naturally a huge issue in our sport. The car is always at the limit, and we also always adapt that a bit. We look at the weather forecast and hope that it then more or less works out. Avoid the engine overheating. That appears in every passenger car manual in order to achieve a long service life. In 2016, a power unit has to last on average for 5 races. Otherwise, there are severe penalties, which ultimately cost important points in the battle for the title. Here, hot races are an additional risk to the durability of the car's key component. To do well, drivers need to keep a cool head and a cool engine too. A change of leader, a rather different interview, and 2 problem children. Back on top, hat-trick. Rosberg in the fast lane, already like a champion. A grip on Hamilton. Too cocky? Not at all.
Nothing's changed, that my teammate is still Lewis, you know, and Lewis is always going to be very difficult to beat and very fast, and he always comes back strong, even after difficult weekends. So it will be a battle all the way, as always.
A somewhat different interview at Williams.
I'm here with Williams Martini Racing drivers, Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas. They are going to drive me around the track very, very fast whilst I'm interviewing them. And hopefully we are going to become very fast friends. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. If there was a film made about you, who would play?
Matt Damon.
Maybe Robert De Niro. I love him.
Who is the best F1 driver?
Of course, me.
Of course, you.
No doubt.
Ayrton Senna. That was the best.
Is there another F1 driver who thinks they're good looking?
Maybe Nico Rosberg.
I think Jenson Button thinks he's quite good looking.
I think he looks really nice.
Which F1 driver would make the best fashion model? Who fancies themselves as a bit of a fashion?
Lewis.
Really?
By far, yeah.
That's just rubbish for not having that one. The most famous person on your telephone?
Eric Clapton. He texts me every race.
Every race?
Yeah.
Mika Häkkinen. You know, he really inspired me when I was younger, so yeah. And he's a cool guy.
How many times did it take to pass your driving test?
Have a guess.
I'm going to say once.
Yeah.
Have you ever got a speeding ticket?
Yes, I have. Nothing too bad, though.
Maybe we can go off track a bit better, no?
Problem child in 2016, comeback in 2017, Rio Haryanto, the native Indonesian who at the start still had a seat at Manor Racing, was put on leave due to financial difficulties on the part of his sponsors. Now, with new backers and the support of the Indonesian government as well, Haryanto looks set to return to the Formula One circus. His manager's confident, so we're intrigued to see what happens. Second problem child, Daniel Kvyat, much acclaimed at the start of the season, a podium, then a crash at his home GP of all races and demotion to Toro Rosso. Lots of DNFs and poor finishes, but now in Singapore a minor comeback, winning a battle against Verstappen in the faster Red Bull. 9th place, his best result since the switch. He has a liking for high speed, does the young Russian. His future in Formula One is uncertain. Switching to bobsleigh is, however, something he'll definitely not be doing. That was Inside Grand Prix for today. In the next program, everything about the Grand Prix in Japan. But first, enjoy the race in Malaysia.